Let's take a look at the properties you can change to configure this model. First, you have the information related to customers, and you have the demand per customer and the arrival time in between customers. So in this case, what we have is that every customer requests one product every time that it comes into the system, and the inter-arrival times is set to a random exponential distribution of 0.24 hours in between every two customers. We can change this so that, for example, we can fix that we have a customer arriving every hour and requests 10 products from us. So we can change that so that we have more or less frequent arrivals of our customers, or in larger or lower values of our demand. Regarding the policy, we can use two policies which are the most common ones. One is Reorder Point and the other one is fixed period or periodic review. If we pick Reorder Point, we have to set two values. One is the lot size, which is the amount of product we're going to request from our supplier every time we place an order, and the Reorder Point is the inventory level that when we reach it, we will place a new order with our supplier. If you are not very familiar with these concepts, I recommend you visit a playlist I have where I describe the basics of inventory management. I explain the economic order quantity, and I also explain how the reorder point works. And there's another playlist for the fixed period or periodic review, which for you to configure that, you have to fix two values. One is the fixed period, or the review period, which is the time that has to elapse for you to place a new order. In this case, it's set to 12.5 days. And this is the order up to level, which is the amount of items that you will want to have when you have placed the order. So that given your inventory position plus the amount you're going to order, you want to have this inventory level. Okay, I'll get back to reorder point. Okay, regarding the supplier, you can set or you can configure these properties. First, the lead time. In this case, I set it to a random uniform distribution ranging from 2 to 3 days. Of course, you can change this expression, you can make it constant, and you can change the units. And you have the supplier cost type. You can have a cost per order, which is fixed. I'll get to the costs later on. Or you can have a cost per truck, and you can have the capacity of every truck. In this case, we have a cost per order. We have a fixed cost we pay every time we place an order, no matter how many products we request from our supplier. If we use the cost per truck, it represents the fact that we pay per trucks no matter how full or empty they are. So, for example, if the truck capacity is 3,000 products, if we are placing an order for, let's say, 3,500 items, that means we're going to pay a truck for the first 3,000. We will have to use another truck for the 500 remaining. Okay, let's get back to cost per order. And you have the initialization value for your inventory, which is your on-hand inventory when your simulation starts. And finally, we have the cost. You can configure. You have the holding cost, which is the cost that costs you to have one product in your warehouse per time units. Okay, you can change the units, but in this case, this is 1 cent for having a product within your warehouse one whole day. Okay, you have the ordering cost. Okay, which in this case is a 50, the default currency, which we might assume is euros or dollars. Okay, so this is the amount we're going to pay every time we place an order. We have the shortage cost, which is the cost we have to pay, or the penalty we have, or the cost we assume we'll have for not delivering product. And finally, what we have is the material cost. So every time we place an order, if we, for example, like this is the case here, we are in this policy, every time this reorder point, every time we place an order, we request 1,000 products. So we're paying 10 euros per product. So every time we place an order, we have to spend 10,000 euros to get this 1,000 products, so that we can compare different suppliers if that was the case.